Thursday is a big day in Washington as the final group gains access to the COVID-19 vaccine.
I'm thrilled so many people in Washington are eager to get vaccinated. I do have a favor to ask. Please be patient.
Right now, roughly 5 million residents are eligible to be vaccinated. Including everyone 16 and older adds close to another 1.5 million. It will take weeks to get everyone signed up and vaccinated. In the meantime, health officials are concerned about an increase in coronavirus cases and hospitalizations.
We are continuing to, as you know, race against the clock when it comes to vaccines, and we are very concerned about the fact that we are seeing increasing trends in cases in the majority of counties across the state of Washington.
The sharpest COVID increases are with people in their teens on up through those in their 40s and 50s. It's the largest group most likely to go to bars and restaurants or travel, most still unvaccinated.
We are seeing increased cases. There is big concern that's a fourth wave. People need to distance themselves. They need to wear a mask. I know the weather is turning nice. I know people are tired of doing this.
The state is averaging more than 57,000 vaccinations a day right now, which is pretty impressive. But based on feedback from all providers, it could be doing as many as 150,000 doses a day. Not possible, as the state expects to receive 365,000 doses a week from the federal government over the next 3 weeks.
The largest barrier thus far has been vaccine supply.
As of April 10th, nearly 4.2 million doses have been administered in Washington, and every dose protects someone from the virus. The Clark County Fairgrounds and other mass vaccination sites are now open until 8 p.m. a couple nights a week. The fairgrounds recently delivered 2,000 doses in a single day. And Clark County's Tower Mall Clinic is set to deliver 4,000 doses this week during its 4-day run starting Friday. Now is the time to sign up if you can.
You can protect yourself, protect your loved ones, protect your community, and certainly taking a critical step to get back to some level of normalcy.
Tim Gordon, KGW News.